So, this week, we got the guitars that destroyed the New Romantics. There's the guitars that destroyed prog. Those are the guitars that started power pop and jazz oboe. Welcome to the Early Morning Sunday Show. Amelia Earhart's car. And welcome back. It's the Early Morning Sunday Show, brought to you by nobody really. Cat, I guess. Well, speaking of cat. What? Why are you staring at me, dude? Are we coming up or not? All right, come on. And here it is, the internet's, YouTube's most favorite feline friend, my co-host, Cat. Speaking of cat, it's beginning to heal up. Look at that. Yeah, scars. That whole huge scratch thing is scabbing away. Yes, meow, we got it. Everyone knows you're here. You can sit. The opening, that was from the Denver Transportation Museum. Yeah, isn't it just rude that someone sticks their butt right in your face? I mean, first thing, here we go. Here's my butt. Have a whiff. Cats don't seem to have gas, though. Thank God for that. Not like dog. We had a beagle, Oliver. Whew, man, talk about gas. Wow. I guess maybe it's what they eat. But so that was Denver's Transportation Museum. Went there when we were out there a month ago. But we got some great stuff today. I'm pretty excited about this. So let's dig in. Because I got nothing else really to tell you. And Cat settled in, so we're set. We're going to begin, though. Let's start. We're going to go new, something brand new. And this is the new album from Margo Price. Margo Price was born in Illinois in 1983. And beautiful vinyl. And there is we got a book in here. Margo Price, did this with her husband. Actually, she's been with her husband, Jeremy Ivory, for quite some time, and they have done a lot of, they've been doing their music together, down in Nashville. They began with a group called the Secret Handshakes, and in the Secret Handshakes, they only did political songs. Then they came up with a group called, that they did, was it Buffalo Clover, maybe? Margo Price, then my favorite was Margo and the Price Tags. Isn't that nice? What if I burn all my bridges you can never find? Okay, yeah, just some of the lyrics. Little lyric sheet, that's neat. So Margo and the Price Tags. Talk about a fun name for a group, huh? For Margo Price. In 2016, though, she did her debut record as just Margo Price on Third Man Records. I remember that came out because Third Man reissued it on the Third Man Record Club, and I had that. I no longer do, and I think that thing's worth some money right now. C'est la vie. Well, this is her fourth album, and it's Strays. And to do this album, she gave up booze. No more booze. So that's great. We're going to help our creative juices. Instead, she decided, me and my husband, we are going on and we're taking an extended mushroom trip. And they began taking a lot of mushrooms. And they came up with this album. Kind of Florenzen, if you remember my one of my all-time favorites, his last album. Well, we're taking some mushrooms and let's just see what we come up with. Well, that's what they did, and this is really good. There is some, you can feel tinges of psych rock, synth rock is on here. You know, she started as country, and here she's really breaking out. And there is so many good songs on here. She collaborated with Mike Campbell and Sharon Van Etten. And just came up with so much very interesting stuff. You know, there's a hit that's hit, I guess, #1 on the chart. Change of Heart is on here, and it has kind of a almost like a garage rock organ going on. You think of Question Mark and Mysterians when you hear that particular song. You know, some of these songs she, like what was it? Been to the Mountain was one. It starts off with this kind of a synth, and then the guitars just kick in. It creates this groove. It was just really a neat song. Lyrically, it was kind of almost like Patti Smith type lyrics. It's just so much good stuff. I have totally been blown away by this album. You know, there's hints of country, and they're definitely not hints. I mean, there definitely is more than that. But she's really taken her music into a new level. Kind of, you know, how Taylor Swift, we're going to start with country, and then we're just going to move on. You think Casey Musgrave, how she kind of moved on. Margo Price is doing the same thing. She's trying to get herself established, not just being pigeonholed in one thing. She does a great job on this particular album, and just really good stuff. I could easily see, it's only February. I said, it'll be the album of the year. I remember last year, everyone said Tears for Fears came out this time. This will be my #1 album of the year. Now, it was on a lot of people's list. It didn't quite make my list at the end of the year, but it was a good album. This one very well could. I just have to remember I bought it, but really good. So if you're looking for something kind of neat, Margo Price, Strays. Wow. The next 2 albums came to me from Tone Scott. Tone Scott, I will put in the description part of my video. I will put a link to his channel. Tone is a music producer. He writes now for Goldmine magazine. I just got him a recent issue of Goldmine. And he does, obviously, these videos. He makes music. He does it all. He's out in California. He's been a very good friend to me. And someone that I, truly cherish a friendship, whether it be talking on the phone, texting, or whatever. And I don't try to buy. The dude's busy. He sent me these. I've never listened to Johnny Marr's solo work. Now, and that's a shame, because I've really missed out. Johnny Marr's from Manchester, home of Rob Walker. Rob, if you're watching, drop a note and say hi, damn you. So he's Johnny Marr, but his Marr was spelled M-A-H-R. And his parents were Irish, but they lived in Manchester. He learned guitar from listening to records, and he bought a book on guitar chord. It's a guitar chord dictionary. So he was reading that and listening to records, and that's how he learned to play. At age 13, he formed a group, Paris Valentines. At age 14, that's when he changed his name from Marr, M-A-H-R, to M-A-R-R, because he did not want to be confused with John Marr, the Buzzcocks drummer. So he became Johnny Marr, M-A-R-R. How about that for fun? In 82, he met Morrissey. And then life really got exciting for him. Johnny Marr, you know, had this beautiful jangly Rickenbacker and Fender Telecaster. And in 82, the New Romantics held sway. Everything had a synth. They formed the group The Smiths. The Smiths had no synth. It was a 4-piece band. They brought it back. And they changed the course of music once again. Incredible. Of course, they broke up after, was it 4 albums? But Johnny Marr, he's done 5 solo albums. So we're going to begin with these. And we have his, let's see, his second album is this one, Playland. So let's start with this one. So here we have Playland. This came out in 2014. Now, he'd been doing other stuff in the 90s with other groups, been working with them. Beautiful, beautiful vinyl. So in the new century now, actually the teens, he began doing his own music. And Playland, this really, it's like a throwback to 90s British pop. There's some synths that have been added in to kind of almost give it more of a dance type feel, but kind of dance beats. But don't get me wrong, the sonic palette on this is incredible. This is guitar oriented, and his guitar sounds just absolutely fantastic. I was just wow, this guy plays. And I really kind of forgot about it. You know, I was not a huge Smiths fan, and I have a Smiths album in an upcoming show. Lord knows when it's going to happen. And I'll talk more about the Smiths. But his, you know, he has this beautiful playing of the guitar, and it's on full force here. You really, really hear it. Just absolutely incredible sounding. Then his third solo album, so that was 2014. In 2018, he came out with his third solo album. Takes a little while, I guess, in between. And there we got some beautiful purple vinyl. So we got some nice colored vinyl on here. And we got an absolutely black, hey, what's this? Trying to get something extra here. Come on here, come on. And this is why we have these unscripted. So, I don't know if that still works or not. We had this one, Call the Comet. Call the Comet. Vinyl Richie keeps telling me, just keep the sleeve out and don't try to put it in. Then you don't have to struggle with it. And, well, I also appreciate Vinyl Richie. I love you, man. He's coaching me. So this is a collection of it's just another great album. It's kind of it's like going back to good old-fashioned college rock is kind of the feel you got on this. He does create these wonderful sonic soundscapes with his guitar. And it's very well put together. You can even get kind of a little psychedelic rock is happening on here. But it's just, yeah, again, a fabulous listen. Just super. These both tone, I'm telling you, thank you so much. I would never have bought them. I wasn't thinking, I've never really thought about Johnny Marr. I like, you know, it took me a long time to like the Smiths, but I do like the Smiths. But I've really learned, why do I like the Smiths? Johnny Marr. And yeah, really good stuff. So thank you so much, Tone. Absolutely wonderful music. Well worth looking into. I have. How about the, so he kind of destroyed the New Romantics. What guitars destroyed prog rock at the time? And Sex Pistols. And you're saying, well, Jeepers Creepers, is that really a new album for you? Well, this is cool. This is an original, but it's Japanese. Japanese press. The problem is it no longer had the Oboe strip. So here we got the lyrics, which actually helps because most of the time I can't figure out what the hell Johnny Rotten's saying. I have not a clue, generally speaking. I just know I love the guitars and I love the amps. And there it is in Japanese. So I saw this. I was down in Founders Record Store, I think in Detroit, and I have to do I got a store tour of it that I'll do one of the, it's loaded. I got a lot of store tours in my phone that I need to get showing. But obviously Sex Pistols came in, changed the course. They came, they saw, they conquered, they blew up within a year. And, you know, punk rock was so quick and fast. It's just, here it is, but it got out of control. And that was the problem with punk rock. You know, it started off, it was a special thing going on and for a certain group of people, but then it got violent and everyone else came in and they just wanted to come in. They wanted to have fights and punk rock just absolutely fell apart, especially in the UK. In the US, it held on. And then, you know, obviously you had, you know, your other groups, hardcore punk and everything. It never got violent as it did in the UK. And I mean, it just got out of control and it had to change. And the kids were looking for something really kind of safer. And hello, New Romantics. Hello, you know, things did change. But I saw this. I have an original Sex Pistols. I have a repress of it. Now I have a Japanese press. Here's a case where I have bought more of one album. A lot of times I won't do that. You know, Melinda Murphy just so violently pleased Bob Dylan. That was my selection of the month. I got out of it. Why? I got a Bob Dylan. Why? I don't need 2 Blonde on Blondes in my collection. I do need 3 Sex Pistols though, so... I got 30 now, but I saw a Japanese press. I go, God, that's kind of cool. I just wish there was the Oboe strip. If there was the Oboe strip, it would have cost a lot more, though. Okay, how about classical oboe? We don't hear. I didn't know really. I never even thought it was a thing, but it is a thing. And Michael Dawson, if you're watching, I know you're. Obviously, you're incredible at the oboe. If you play that, I'm really positive. I know the flute, keys, whatever. But Yusef Lateef played sax, flute, oboe, and about any other kind of woodwind instrument. This guy was a genius. He was born in Chattanooga in 1920. He actually passed in 2013. But he spent his childhood, most of it, in Detroit. And that's where he learned things. And I'm going to sneeze here real quick, if you don't mind. Okay. How about again? One more. All right. His name was William Emanuel Huddleston, I think. Huddleston. Yeah. Well, he became a Muslim and he changed his name to Yusef Lateef. This he blended jazz with Eastern music. In fact, he never called it jazz. He had his own way of describing it. He says, "I don't play jazz music." When he was 30, he went to Wayne State and he learned flute there, and he also learned composition and just expanded. In the 80s, he taught in Nigeria. So, I mean, this guy was prolific. He was busy. This was a Vinyl Me Please album of the month. And I was trying to decide, do I want this or not? And the reason why I was thinking about it is I know he can play some really weird stuff. And so I was reading about this particular album, and it said it's his most accessible album. Aha! It's accessible. I'm buying it. And It is. It's pretty good. Is it something I'm going to listen to a lot? Probably not. But this came out in 1960. And, you know, he does soloing with the tenor sax. He solos with the flute. And he solos with the oboe, which is just kind of weird to me. But he sounds really good with it. Ron Carter plays the cello. And you know what? You know what they say? There's always room for cello. And that's what he does. It's very quiet. It's kind of dreamy at times, but it's really neat. Especially when I dream when From Within was a song. It's the flute, but it's a really quiet kind of a song. I'm just a lucky so and so is where the old oboe comes in. And there is some songs that are like Going Home, more of a finger snapper, but it's a lot of different vibes and moods on here. So I've never had anything with him, probably shied away from him. Dave VC Ambassador, I know, is a big fan of this man. It has quite a bit, so I have one. And I didn't mind this. It's not my typical, though. We've done a two for, how about a three for a triple? Sometimes you go into a mood, and here we have the Bevis Frond. Now, 1, 2, and 3 albums from the Bevis Frond. Nick Solomon's group, formed in the 80s. Basically, a lot of times it's just him in his basement doing stuff, or in his studio, but he does have a group on here. He is prolific. He is the psych version of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard as far as output. Amazing output. And sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. Let's be honest about it. This one here, this is his 2021 album, Little Eden. Oh, yeah. That's not even a hype. Oh, yeah, there is a hype sticker there. Ta-da, Little Eden. And it says, the psychedelic hewn panoramic take of modern Britain, punctuated with pure pop melodies, beautifully observed English melancholy. You always have room for melancholy. For fans of the Lemonheads, Dinosaur Jr., and Teenage Fan Club, not Damn Club. Okay, it's a 2-album set, and he does like longer sets. The thing is, the Bevis Frond's albums do not cost a lot, and you can go online, you can get them for fairly inexpensive. But this one here, this was pretty good. Little Eden, it is just typical Frond with lots of distorted guitars, jangly guitars happening. His vocals, some people may not like his vocals. I do. It adds to that kind of that folky psych type feel to it. Really, I found this 2021, he's still making some great music. Some real rockers in here. Just very psych. He's just such a fan of 60s British psych. That's his deal. He doesn't really stray from it too much. So really, really nice to have that one. We have this one here. This is called North Circular. This came out in 1997. And this is a 3-album set. Was there a need for a 3-album set? No. I just think, again, he was going through stuff. Things were in his mind. Hey, let's do this. Let's do that. And, yeah, we got, it's just all lyrics. It's 4 pages of lyrics here. It could have been a great album if we'd done a 1-album set, but he had a lot he wanted to say and he wanted to do on this one. This is so-so. There is kind of some folk psych, which I'm not as big at, and I don't really like it as much when he does that kind of the folk psych type stuff. There is some noise. kind of noise rock on here. The Pips, it's called, I believe. And yeah, the Pips. It goes for 12 minutes. Definitely a lot more noise happening within that. But then he comes in with Blew Me Out, which is just incendiary psych rocker. Really, really good. It's just, there's some weird stuff mixed in with the good stuff. And it's 3 albums. So, yeah, it's inexpensive though. The other one is Superseders, and this one came out in 1995. This thing's awesome. This is back. He rips it up. He is just incredibly good on this. Fantastic sounding music. This is psych rock at its best. I think well worth. If you want to get another one, this is an excellent one. It's hard rocking 60s psych. There's a rhythm section that gets into an absolute groove. Well worth it. Loved it. Next, I bought the Nazz. I don't really have this. Many people have talked about it for years. Hannah, the Homo Introvert's a big fan of them. I had the second Nazz album at one time in my old collection, and I just thought, let's get the first one. Obviously, Todd Rundgren, Carson Van Olsen are in this. The 67 to 69. They came, they saw, they went. This is how, really, when you think of power pop began. It has incredible psych Open My Eyes, which is such a really good psyche tune, but they're all over the place on here. Hello, It's Me on here. The version Rundgren does when he does his solo is much better than that one. But wonderful tunes. The harmonies are incredible. Rundgren's guitar it's awesome. It really is. It just says, hey, this guy has a lot of talent, and there's going to be more coming your way. And, they only did 3 albums, but that was fantastic. So really happy to have this. Yes, I bought something from the 60s. Coming up, and I might be doing, Melinda Murphy and Vinyl Richie did what groups do you have the most albums from, and Richie kind of challenged me on that one, so I'm looking at that. But everyone have a good one. Bye.